Tottenham Hotspur's 98-99 season made a mixed start, with changes at the helm before 10 matches had been played. Coach Christian Gross left after 3 matches. His final game was victory at Everton. Director of Football David Ginola took over team matters, stabilised the ship, losing just once in 7 games as caretaker manager. Then came George Graham. He took us on 2 great cup runs and earned a place in Europe next season. In the next couple of hours, we shall talk exclusively to George Graham and to David Ginola and bring highlights of 45 FA Cup and Premiership matches. We start at Selhurst Park last August with a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Wimbledon.
Spurs just clung on to their Premiership place, finally securing it with a 6-2 hammering of Wimbledon last May, but this time fell behind when keeper Ian Walker failed to reach the free kick. Jamaican Robbie Earle, a summer scorer in the World Cup, giving the home side an overdue lead 3 minutes into the second half. Michael Hughes had been giving Spurs' new Italian signing, Paolo Tramezzani, a Premiership baptism of fire, and produced a perfect left-wing cross for Evan Okoku to score Wimbledon's second just before the hour. Spurs boss Christian Gross admitted his side didn't play well until then, but they did make a game of it. Ruel Fox stole in for a goal a quarter of an hour from time. But Wimbledon, many people's favourites for the drop, eased the jitters with an injury-time goal, Marcus Gale's cross, Okoku second, and on this form, many people will have to think again.
Our home campaign started against Sheffield Wednesday. The Yorkshire side are as unpredictable as the Dons.
Henderson again with the curling free kick. As towards Campbell, off the post. I think Pressman might have got a touch. Tremendous effort from the Spurs skipper. Armstrong wins it this time. Campbell again. Fox, no offside. Ruel Fox on the turn, straight at the keeper. Good spell of pressure from Tottenham. They did all but score. It was a ferocious effort from Sol Campbell. Smacked back off the woodwork. He got up really well. Pressman may have got something on it, but he was saved by his woodwork. Little push from Anderson, says Mike Reed. It's a bit harsh. Well, very harsh. He's going to book him. Yellow card for the England player. Didn't seem more than just a little push, really. That's a decent header! And Sheffield Wednesday have scored! Out of absolutely nothing. It was floated in, and the header looped over Walker. Andy Booth, Peter Atherton it is in fact. He doesn't get many. And he ghosted in to the Tottenham box. And Walker off his line had no chance at all. Di Canio got away from Nielsen. Support from Carbone, trying to put Di Canio through, and he has done, and it must be for both. What a save from Walker, it still must be, and it finally is for Paolo Di Canio. And Ian Walker, with 2 terrific saves, got no support from his defence at all, and Wednesday, with 10 minutes to go until half-time, are 2-0 ahead. Di Canio. Still. And he's got the free kick, rather fortuitously, you had to say, but it's in a dangerous position. And Spurs at 2 down really don't want to be defending free kicks just outside their own box. Toman Wim Jonk over it. It's Tomu who strikes it, and it's 3-0. That really was a stunning free kick.
That 3-0 defeat was to be the last home match under the control of Christian Gross. He was to leave the club after our next match, which ironically was against Everton, on the ground where his Tottenham career had begun 10 months earlier with a victory. Christian also departed on a winning note.
The strapping on the wrist, the injury that actually forced him to leave the World Cup early.
Fox, Ferdinand, and behind him Nielsen. Les Ferdinand had a good look at the ball as it came in and was shaping to go for it, then realised maybe there was a bit too much whip on it, a bit too much pace for him. Possibly a call from Nielsen as well. The outcome is a corner. Well, he has made his point. A goal inside 5 minutes. No wonder Christian Gross touches the air in delight. And Les Ferdinand as well. So left out by Glenn Hoddle, his club manager keeping faith with Ferdinand after a sticky start to the season, but the man with a great record of getting goals against Everton has done it here for Tottenham. Straightforward corner from Ginola. Ferdinand fighting for it and winning it. Calderwood, here's Daco, who's already had one good shot. Oh, it comes for Calamatri, tremendous stop by Bordson. Calamatri, whose last first-team goal was back in October here in the Merseyside derby against Liverpool. Well, it couldn't have fallen more invitingly, could it? But Bordson was up to the task and Everton stay a goal down.
Since I arrived, I tried really the best I can to do the best for Tottenham, and at the end it's the club. It's the most important thing, to do the best for the club, and always was guided by this vision to do the best for the club. That's it.
So Christian announced his departure to the press. Director of Football David Ginola was appointed caretaker manager and was in charge amid press speculation that Spurs had made a bid for Blackburn's Tim Sherwood.
We certainly respect them. I respect the manager, Roy. I've known him many, many years. There's no animosity between us. Just to clear that we made an offer for Sherwood, we then increased the offer, and as at this moment they're saying they're not doing business. So be it. For the moment, that is the way it is.
We were without Darren and Sol for this match. Both had been injured playing for England.
Peacock. And no flag. And a fine goal! Blackburn take the lead, and Kevin Gallagher gets it. It was a beauty. Ginola. That's a free kick for sure. And the Spurs fans giving an ironic sense of applause. Ginola's a big favourite here. Wanted to take it quickly. Ferdinand! 1-1. A goal of clinical simplicity, but masterly scored by Les Ferdinand. His second of the season, and it's 1-1. Well, David Ginola with a free kick, and Les Ferdinand, well, by Premiership standards, that was a gift. Peacock gave him an acre, and Ferdinand replied with his second goal of the season. Now there's a chance for Blackburn, and oh, that's a great save from Espen Bardson. Carr. Oh, and a fine header, and a second goal for Tottenham. Nielsen scores, Ginola celebrates, and Spurs lead by 2-1. The simple football, the flair football. Nielsen again on mark, but a brilliant header, and it's 2-1 to Tottenham. Well, Nielsen's header, but once again, David Ginola with a fabulous delivery. Where was the marking though? But a great header from Nielsen. 2-1. Stephen Clements. Away comes Ginola, drifting in, still going. Ginola himself, and that's a fine save Well, David Ginola, when he's hot, is very hot, and Flowers had to palm that away. Ginola fancied scoring here. He drifted in, continued his run, and it was a tough one for Flowers, and Ginola wants to take the corner himself. Well, that's part of the package you get with David Ginola. Here comes the cross, and another header. Oh, and no penalty. Goal kick. Well, Spurs had a big chance there, and I think it was the Spurs player who stopped it from going in. Away comes Spurs again. This is Ginola on the break. Still Ginola. He'll fancy this. Oh! Ginola will know he should have scored, and Tim Flowers grabbed it at the second attempt. Well, it was a strong run from Ginola. He seemed to know he was going to end up setting himself up a chance, and Flowers lost it at the first time and just dragged it back.
David Ginola, the architect of that victory in David Pleat's first game. We were looking for a hat-trick of Premiership wins when Middlesbrough visited the Lane. We were not at our best.
Rickard for Beck, good play from the front two from Middlesbrough. Hamilton Rickard goes in and slots it away.
Brilliant, superb goal.
And Rickard has another side of goal. It's 2-0. Hamilton Rickard is having a splendid afternoon here in London.
I said he was inspirational. He's even giving his support or something to laugh at as well.
Kinder.
Oh, the goalkeeper has made a howler here. They've got their third goal. Vladimir Kinder.
During September, a new member was appointed to the Spurs board. Ex-player and captain Martin Peters was invited to join in a non-executive capacity. A World Cup winner in 1966, Martin played in the successful Spurs side of the early 70s. Here he explains how his return to White Hart Lane after 24 years came about.
Yes, it's a long time, but it only seems like yesterday really, 1975. But I'm very pleased to be back. I was delighted to accept the invitation by the board to join the board as a non-executive director. And it's great for me, and hopefully I can input something into the club.
It's obviously an appointment that will please the fans. How did it actually come about?
Well, really, I just got a phone call out of the blue from the chairman, Mr. Alan Sugar, and I didn't know what it was about and phoned him, and we got together, had a couple of meetings, and I was pleased to come along.
You were here, what, 5 years, I think, as a player. What are your abiding memories of that time?
Well, I guess that we had a pretty good side when I was here, between 70 and 75. We had people like Martin Chivers, really most probably being the best centre forward in Europe at that stage. Gilly, Mike England, Pat Jennings, Alan Mullery, a young Steve Perriman, Cyril Knowles, Joe Kinnear. The names just go on, don't they? And we did pretty well, winning 3 trophies in 5 years when I was here. So they're great years, really.
Now you've come back here, as you say, as a director, and you've got a specific job within the club. Tell us about that.
Well, that's right. I'm apart from imparting knowledge, and discussion with the board on board meetings, is to try to get closer to the fans, a closer link to the fans, and being attainable from them to me and vice versa. I'm happy to hear from them. They can write to me and express their wishes, and hopefully impart it to the board.
Martin Peters back at the club. Remember his League Cup winning years of 1971 and 73? Well, we were successful again this year, but that's another story, and our Worthington Cup video Road to Wembley covers that success and includes exclusive footage of dressing room celebrations. Back to Premiership action as we travel to the South Coast. We're in 12th position with 6 points from our first 5 matches. Hans Sagers was called up for his Spurs Premiership debut to face Letitia and co. Injury ruling out both Ian Walker and Espen Bardson.
Spurs with a chance now on the break, into Rule Fox, and he's done it! Super strike from Fox. Tottenham have the lead, and in all honesty, no more than they deserve. cut inside superbly, and a shot that gave Paul Jones absolutely no chance. 25 minutes on the clock, and Spurs nose in front of the bottom side. Nice control, and he struck it with the left and beat Jones on his near post. Gibbons. Now Hughes. That's a decent ball. Matt Le Tissier, 1-1. That's his 200th goal for Southampton. And even when he's out of form, you can't give him a yard. Decent ball from Hughes, and Le Tissier, with number 200 in front of his adoring fans at the Dell, has made it Southampton 1, Spurs 1. Crowd urging Southampton to get forward, but Spurs have got just about everyone behind the ball. They've still found some room on the right-hand side, though. This is Jason Dobb with the cross, and that could have gone anywhere, and a fantastic save by Sagers has probably rescued a point for Tottenham. I think it was Gibbons' header at the far post, and Sagers somehow got himself in the way of it. Dodd's cross it was originally. It was headed back, it was Gibbon, and it was a great save by Sagers. Well, called in at the last minute.
It came as a big surprise, and you know, after nearly 2.5 years to play for the last time in the Premier League, obviously I was quite pleased to get a chance again. I think I took it well, just disappointed with the result.
You're very experienced, of course. Was there an element, though, of nervousness when you knew you were playing?
Not really, no. I felt good. I felt normal as every other match. You know, we take every match as it is. So this one was nothing different. But it's always a bit special when you make your debut for a new club. And so it was a good day, a very special day, and I really enjoyed it.
Our next Premiership opponents were Leeds United. They visited the Lane with a great defensive record, having conceded only 1 goal in the league so far. They also arrived amid speculation that their manager George Graham could be on his way permanently to Tottenham as the new man in charge. Nothing at the time could be confirmed.
So away we go then, Spurs kick us off, kicking from right to left in this first half against the Leeds side. It's been Misley, and here's an early chance for Armstrong if he can get in there. And a crucial saving tackle. It's still there, away by Molinar, not very far. Anderson got a touch, it's out with Fox. Dynamite stop, Ferdinand! Nearly a goal inside 15 seconds for Spurs as Leeds were caught sleeping. There was no hint of a flag. I think Leeds were looking for it at one point, and Les Ferdinand couldn't quite keep the shot down. Would have been an explosive start from Tottenham Hotspur. That'll be the first corner of the match to Leeds United. And Molinar's come up from the back for this. He's always dangerous at set pieces. It's the man they call the Terminator in parts of Yorkshire. Leeds corner, and a free header, and no messing about for Leeds United. Within 3 minutes, they've gone ahead. You have to question the marking, and it was a thumping header. Armstrong. Well, he's come away from Hopkin really well. Support from Nielsen. Back from Ferdinand to Clements. It's towards Ferdinand, he brought it down well, and Hart just got a foot in. And eventually, Spurs win themselves a corner through Ferdinand's persistence. Got it. It was a thumping header from the corner, perfectly placed, and within 10 minutes of going behind, Tottenham are level. Ramon Vega, who's taken so much stick over the past few weeks, and this is the best way to answer it. Anderton's corner, there was a lot of work for him to do. He's 12 yards out, and he's powered it in. 1-1. Kuhl. And again, and it's come through to Vinhard with Hasselbank in the middle, and Hasselbank has scored. So simple. Vinhard's cross picked out his Dutch partner, and from no more than 3 or 4 yards, he just nicked it past Bordson. And it's an excellent ball. Clements. Well, he's just crowded out by weight of numbers. There were two Leeds players, and now they're trying to break with David Hopkin. Goes wide to Hasselbank. In towards Vinhard. Still Vinhard might, and he has, and it's 3-1. And the Dutchmen combine. First of all, Vinhard set up Hasselbank, and that time it was the other way around. And a warm round of applause for Iversen, who comes on after a spell out through injury. Now what can he do in the 27 minutes that remain? He's always been a very popular player here. Vinhard. Oh, they've given it straight to Roel Fox here, Leeds. Still Fox. Fox surely now! And he didn't get enough power in it. And it forced a good save from Martin, though. And that really would have given us a lively last 20 minutes. He did all the hard work, Roel Fox, just couldn't find a way past Martin. And there's going to be a free kick here against Vinhard. This is the Roel Fox chance. Lovely quick feet there. Mononar left for dead. Could see what he was trying. Martin could see it as well. Good stuff though from the winger. Iversen, Nielsen. That goes Anderton. Fox. Got it back. And it just flicked off the head of a Leeds defender there. It was Heaton. Now it's Anderton. Space for a shot maybe. Instead goes wide to Fox again. Now who can he pick out? No one in a white shirt, unfortunately. And Leeds could be on the break here quickly. Hasselbank, though, dispossessed well by Edinburgh, who's fed Fox. Good contest with Hart, which at the moment the Spurs winger's winning. Knocked in by Carr, no offside, and in by Iversen. And he celebrates his return with a goal. He's only been on the pitch for 8 minutes, and he's given Spurs a lifeline here. It's 3-2. It had been coming. Spurs had much the greater of the possession, and they've finally sliced open the Leeds defence. And Iversen on his comeback is on the score sheet. Was knocked in there, and he found space all on his own. And what a good finish. Cracking volley. They're all up there. Martin wanted a punch, and fortunately for him, it trickled through a gap where no Spurs players were, but they still have it. Anderton. He's come again, the goalkeeper. He's lost it. Calderwood, great save. It's still there for Iversen, though. Campbell! It's in! And they've rescued it right at the death. And it's the skipper, Sol Campbell, who's made it 3-3 in the 93rd minute. Would you believe it? Oh, Sol Campbell, his second of the season, and what a vital time to get it. Spurs crowd going mad, and just when it looked like they were going to get beaten, Captain Fantastic has got him a point. Nielsen was in, that's a great header. No nonsense, roof of the net, and it's 3-3.
I thought we dominated the game territorially. I thought we gave them all sorts of problems. I thought Martin was excellent at times. I thought our comeback was splendid, because we had to fight back from a 2-goal deficit. We gave them the first goal, an unchallenged header from a corner. The other 2 goals, give credit to them for getting across the 6-yard box sharply, but I didn't think they were good goals from our point of view. No, I have no... I said to the players certain things today, and they've done, whether we win the championship this season or not, I'll be happy with that.
A few days later, the speculation about George Graham was confirmed. He was on his way back to North London, to White Hart Lane, the famous home of the Spurs. And it didn't take the new man long to get amongst the lads at our Spurs Lodge training ground, letting them know what he expected in the weeks to come. But how did his move from Leeds come about?
Spurs wanted to speak to me. Leeds United wanted a financial package deal first. And once that was sorted out, then there wasn't a problem. A lot of people have thought I walked out, but I didn't walk out in Leeds at all. I was happy at Leeds. 2 very happy years there. In many ways sad to leave, but in many ways a new challenge down here. I came down here mainly for personal reasons, but you know, I couldn't come to a bigger club. You know, fantastic, and let's see if we can put them back where they belong.
You talked in the press conference about passion and commitment from your players and from your team. You had the chance, obviously, to see the players in action on Saturday. Did you see what you hoped you would see from that game?
Yeah, I was very impressed Saturday. It took me by surprise to see so many players showing this commitment that I love. And why not? I mean, we're in a great profession now, which everybody is being well rewarded, and I just want a return on that investment. So I'll be wanting passionate players, and there's a lot of players here with a lot of ability, and I'm sure their dream would be to play in a successful Tottenham team, and my job is to get a successful Tottenham team. It's up to them who's going to be in it.
George Graham left David Pleat to run things for his first game at Pride Park, whilst he assessed things from the stand. There wasn't a lot to note in the first half, but some promise came to light in the second.
As with Steve Cobb. And well, it was certainly pulled down the second time. Heenan, the man adjudged to have committed the offence, doesn't agree with the referee's decision. The free kick it is. Ginola takes it quickly, and Campbell's there, and Campbell puts Tottenham ahead. Into some space, totally unmarked, his 3rd goal in as many games. And Sol Campbell breaks the deadlock to the delight of the Tottenham fans. A quickly taken free kick from David Ginola, who spotted immediately that Campbell had made the run, totally unmarked, the Tottenham skipper. And Holt had absolutely no chance. The header was directed down and in the corner. And Tottenham lead at Pride Park. Sol Campbell becoming something of a goal-scoring hero.
George Graham took over the reins for our match at Filbert Street. Not the best start for a new manager, but this was to be the first of many frustrating games where our overall play deserved more.
No offside. Anderton looking for Ferdinand. 1-0 to Tottenham.
Well, it was a great ball from Anderton, but I'd like to see it again. My first thoughts were that he was offside, but it was brilliantly taken from Ferdinand. Let's have a look at it more closely as the ball is played from Fox. No, he's definitely onside. Linesman's going absolutely perfect, and this ball from Anderton is perfect. So inviting, clinical finish. Striker of his calibre, though, shouldn't miss from that sort of distance. Just the start Spurs wanted.
Sinclair. Now Lennon's found a bit of room. Here's Heskey. Great turn by Heskey. Brilliant play. What a goal! Emil Heskey, a classic. And another decision goes Leicester's way here. Free kick. They wait for Elliott to come forward.
So a hiccup first time out for George Graham, but at White Hart Lane a dream start. Newcastle were the visitors. Stefan Everson came off the bench to win the match, making only his 2nd appearance of the season. Stefan replaced the injured Les Ferdinand after 20 minutes.
More time than he would care to remember on the treatment table since being brought from Norway here. Ginola. Well, what a shot. And Shea Given responding in very athletic style. A measure of the technique and talent of Ginola and of the reach and agility of the Newcastle goalkeeper. Great football. It's led to a Tottenham corner. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Scales, but the referee's been pretty hot in any sort of contact like that. Attacker on defender at corners, and Ginola left to reflect
on the moment of the match so far, shared between him and Shay Given. Edinburgh. Armstrong, Anderton! And here's Everson. Eventually, Tottenham take the lead. The substitute, Stefan Everson. 6 minutes to go to half-time. And George Graham, in his first home match as Tottenham's manager, will feel that will reflect some of the enterprise that his team have shown. Pearce got to Anderton before he could shoot. And Given got a hand to Everson's shot, but he couldn't keep it out. Spurs standing firm still. Armstrong, Everson looks to loop it over Given, which he did, but wide of the goal. But if Stefan Everson can put together a run of games in Tottenham's senior side, the Spurs supporters will see what a great acquisition he was, brought here by Jerry Francis, who rarely had him and many other players available. Everson tries again to emphasise the point. Solano looking for Givash. He, like Shearer, finds that Campbell is in the mood not to be passed, which is the norm for the Tottenham captain. Armstrong. Edinburgh. And that's risky, and it's given Everson a tap in. Oh dear, well, Everson is thrilled, and that might well settle it for Spurs. With 14 minutes to go, George Graham decides to venture out into the rain to just make a point via Colin Calderwood. So 2 for Everson. But the mistake by Griffin, so costly for Newcastle United. Everson got there first. He is back, and certainly pressing the new manager to be in the side from the start.
I was hoping to come in the second half and then hopefully maybe do something then, but since Les got injured, I got my chance after 17-18 minutes or so. So it was very good for me to get that much of a game because I need it, so it was good.
I suppose in some ways the 2 goals were similar because you had a bit of time to steady yourself and pick your spot.
Yeah, the first one was, Darren got the ball at the penalty box and I think Pearce tackled him and then the ball just suddenly ended up in my feet. So the keeper comes out and just passed it through by him, and it's a good goal. And the second one, I think, was from one of their defenders and trying to hit the goalkeeper, and he missed him, so I had an open goal. Couldn't go miss.
A knock in training prevented Stefan facing Charlton in our next match. We met the Premiership newcomers with confidence. A win would have put us in the top 5.
Crowd scene on the edge of the Charlton penalty area. Looks like it's being set up for a Darren Anderton special, perhaps. And it was a great effort. Wonderful save. He must have seen that late through the crowd of players in front of him. And Donker took that beautifully on the chest. Mortimer with a great return ball, and Donker! And it's turned in by Hunt. Charlton take the lead. It may be against the run of play, but they're not complaining. Here's Carr for Tottenham. Darren Anderton. Good ball back. Carr's driven it in, and Nielsen turns it in for the equaliser. And that offside decision that Charlton went against them has turned into a very serious decision indeed, because Nielsen has equalised.
Well, it's a brilliantly worked goal. Great play from Anderton, good running from Carr. And an easy finish from Nielsen.
It's his 4th goal of the season, Alan Nielsen, in all competitions, and he really has been a consistent goal scorer. Fox. Anderton, who's had an excellent game tonight. Andy Sinton. 4 in the box for Tottenham, now finally getting players into good positions. And the cross produces a goal for Armstrong. Spurs 1 down, are now 2-1 ahead.
Once again, great approach play from Spurs. Good ball to Edinburgh, puts it into the danger area in that corridor. Armstrong reacts first. I wouldn't think Alan Curtis would be too pleased with Tyler here. He doesn't react at all, but it's a terrific diving header from Armstrong.
Mills. Kinsella turning it back to Youds. Now Jones has got away from his man here. And 3 in the middle awaiting the cross. Pulled it back to Hunt. Yes! What an excellent goal! Charlton are level, and deservedly so.
George didn't agree. He felt Jones fouled Edinburgh before crossing for the equaliser. Instead of 5th, we dropped to 9th as we visited the Premiership leaders. Villa were unbeaten in their first 10 league games, and they gave a debut to their new £6 million signing, Dion Dublin.
Hasn't been too much time for Dion Dublin since he's moved to work on the training ground at these set pieces. Oh, he's got a chance! He's got his first goal! Half an hour into his Aston Villa career, Dion Dublin strikes. Well, Spurs will be very annoyed that they didn't clear the corner in the first place. It came back off John Scales, straight to Dublin, a yard or 2 out, couldn't really miss, didn't miss. And John Scales rues the consequences. An expression in keeping with the current position in the match for Tottenham Hotspur. George Graham never disguised, even after the win against Newcastle. There is a lot of work to be done. He felt that his goalkeeper Boardson had far too much to do in that match. And Dublin is away. Can he make it 2? What a debut this is turning out to be. 2 in under 5 minutes. Hendry. And Stan Collymore is in the clear and makes it 3-0. Well, we've not yet had 3 minutes of the second half, and the new second half formation for George Graham cut apart by Aston Villa. Anderton closed down particularly quickly. And was that over the line? There's no reaction from the assistant on the far side. Very unlucky, Darren Anderton. Underside of the bar. Villa a bit sloppy. Oakes well beaten, just turned and looked. Not Tottenham's day. Sinton. Ginola. He's trying to take them all on, typically. Penalty. David Ginola with a very direct run, and Rob Harris, who was pretty close to the incident, has pointed to the penalty spot. Anderton, who's struck the bar in this second half, takes the penalty for Spurs and strikes the back of the net, and it's 3-1. Sinton, Clements. The son of one of England's great post-war goalkeepers, playing his trade on the midfield for Spurs. Anderton. It's a goal for Ramon Vega. It's 3-2. The corner
brings Tottenham closer. Well, this really will jangle the Aston Villa nerves. Little flick.
I watched the game the following day on video, and really the first half hour we were nice and solid. I think they had a good header which just missed the target. But for half an hour I thought we contained them very well. And then, as usual happens, I thought a couple of individual mistakes. In the next quarter of an hour to half-time, they go 2-0 up and dominated it for that 15 minutes. I changed the system around at half-time. We went to 3 at the back, with 2 wing-backs, 3 in midfield and 2 up. And right away, and within about 2 minutes, they got the third goal. But after that, I thought we absolutely were superb. I thought we took the game to them. We got one back with a penalty, and then we got another one back. Probably on the run of play, we deserved an equaliser. But it showed me something, that there is a bit of passion with the boys. The way they've received me and they've responded to me has been first class. So the Villa game, we've probably, although we lost 3-2, get something out of the game.
The manager learned enough from that Villa game for us to succeed at Anfield in the Worthington Cup 3 days later. In the Premiership, we made the short journey to N5. George Graham got the reception expected on his return to his old club, took it in his stride and replied with a wink and a smile. Stefan Everson almost turned that smile into laughter when his brilliant run and shot brought the best out of Seaman.
Looking for support. He's found some now from Everson. And still Everson, chance for Spurs! Good save, Seaman. And it had to be too. It was crisply struck and it's still not out of play. Back in from Carr. Too high for Armstrong. Arsenal ball.
At the other end, Espen Bardson was also in brilliant form.
Inviting Dixon to bring it forward. Then come a long way too. Into the area! Good save again.
With the goalkeepers in that kind of form, a 0-0 scoreline was inevitable, but a point away from home would please George Graham more than it would Arsene Wenger. From reigning champions away to new boys at home, Forest came to the lane without a Premiership win in their last 10. We expected the 3 points, and so it proved.
Well, Van Hooydonk's won that header, but absolutely no support at all for him now in the departure of Freeman. And that should also give the Spurs fullbacks more of a licence to go forward. This is Ginola nipping in front of Helder, still Ginola, and is it going to sneak in? It is! It's Chris Armstrong! The goal that had to come has arrived after an hour's play. Excellent work from Ginola. Armstrong got in there, had an agonising wait as if the ball would go over the line. It spun in, and Forest's resistance has been broken. Tottenham 1. Nottingham Forest 0. Well, Ginola made it out of nothing really. He got to the byline, got it back inside Chettle, and it looped up in the air off Chris Armstrong's boot, and that was good enough. Anderson may fancy a curler. Just 2 in the wall. And he's in! It was a terrific goal from Nielsen. The delivery was perfect from Anderton, and from close range, Alan Nielsen made absolutely no mistake. Surely Spurs have got the points now. 68 minutes on the clock, and they lead by 2-0.
It was comfortable in the end, but our next match was against a resurgent Hammers. Harry Redknapp's team were up among the Premiership pace setters, so Upton Park would not be the easiest place to make one's first team debut. Luke Young, an 18-year-old fullback with the youth team and who had had a couple of games at centre-half with the Tottenham reserves, was brought in to partner Sol Campbell in the centre of our defence.
Well, Ruddock's given it away. He didn't enjoy that too much. Ginola couldn't quite take advantage of it. Berkovic, nice turn. He's got very quick feet. That's a good ball to Sinclair. Kitson. And a good save by Borson, but he's lost it, and it's put in by Trevor Sinclair. And that's a tragedy for the goalkeeper. It looked like he had it. Georgetown on the bench for the second half with Christian Newton there. Spent the first 45 minutes up in the stand. Away by Hartson. Well, Kitson's done well to retrieve that. And he's looking for Sinclair here. It's Trevor Sinclair. It's 2-0 West Ham. What a finish. And Spurs were simply sliced apart within a minute and a half of the restart. Very casually done by Sol Campbell. Spurs certainly winning the 50-50s now. They've got to try and turn this possession advantage into a goal. Here's Anderton. Can he provide it? Cross knocked away, another chance. And quite happily put away for a corner by Trevor Sinclair. Not sure what sort of a shout he got from his keeper. But with Spurs in the ascendancy, West Ham just relieved to get the ball out of play. Get a brief respite. Ginola with the in-swinging corner. That's a terrific header. A stunning header from Chris Armstrong. The delivery from the corner was perfect, and Spurs have deserved that. They're back in it. There's more than 15 minutes left here, and from Ginola's swinging corner, a thumping header by Armstrong, his 6th of the season, and Tottenham sniffing a comeback. Perfect placement. Well, 5 minutes ago he put it right on Chris Armstrong's head. Might be Sol Campbell's turn this time. Shots on here, and it's against the bar at the other end. And again, and that time it's over the top. Luke Young. And Tottenham within a coat of paint of drawing level. That was a stunning effort. Back into play off the woodwork.
Well, that effort in the dying minutes would have been icing on the cake of a very competent debut. Luke went on to establish himself as part of the first team squad. Before the final match of the season at Old Trafford, we asked Luke to reflect on his magnificent season.
Well, Luke, it's been some season for you, really. At the start of the season, you were in the reserves. Did you ever think that it would be a season as it has turned out?
Not really, no. Playing in the reserves at the start of the year wasn't really going too well for me, and then due to injuries at the club I got my chance at West Ham, and since then really things have gone on from one thing to the next for me.
And you got your chance at centre back, which was a late switch really for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've played full back all my life really, but I played about 6 times on the spin for the reserves at centre half, so that's really where it just come from, and there was only really me left to play there, so that's how I got my chance.
When did you know firstly that you were going to be playing in that game?
I had a good idea on Thursday when John Scales pulled out of the warm-up, and then I knew for definite really on the Friday when we done pattern of play, and I was lining up next to Sol Campbell at the back, and that's really what I knew like Friday during training.
It's not an easy game to come into, West Ham away. I mean, there must have been a few nerves there.
Yeah, I was nervous before I got to the ground, but once I got out on the pitch and the whistle started, I didn't feel too bad. You don't really notice the crowd when you're out there, so that was a good point.
You very nearly marked your debut with a goal, I seem to remember.
Yeah, and about the last 10 minutes, ball comes to me from the corner, and I've chested it and hit it, and the keeper just got a little touch onto the crossbar.
I suppose having made your debut and made that breakthrough, then the next step is to stay around the first team squad and hope that you get another chance.
Yeah, that's what it's all about as a youngster. You just want to be training and playing with the first team. That's what football's all about, being in the first team. It's no good really languishing about in reserves for too long. I know it's a good stepping stone to get up to the first team, but you don't want to hang around there too long.
You're playing alongside Sol Campbell, of course. I mean, experienced player, England international, and that must have been a big help, particularly as you're not used to playing centre-back.
Yeah, definitely. He's talking all the way through the game, before the game, come on youngie, like at my first few games. But yeah, it's been a great help to me.
Now, looking at the rest of the games, I mean, you must be very pleased with the way it's gone, because you've almost established yourself now as a first-team member.
Yeah, suppose there's still a few injuries at the club at the moment, like Ramon Vega, John Scales, but hopefully even when they come back I can still stay in and around the squad and maybe get a game here or there, you never know.
And of course, I suppose the highlight must have been the Worthington Cup, even though you didn't take part in it.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Like at the start of the year, if you'd have said I'd be going to Wembley in a cup final, I wouldn't have believed you. And even though I didn't get on or whatever, it's just great to be part of that day.
Was that a highlight for you of the season?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of them, especially, and getting a cap for the under-21s as well.
Luke Young, a genuine, modest, likeable youngster who is a credit to Tottenham's youth setup both as a footballer and as a man. Well, Luke went on to partner Sol Campbell in our next 7 matches. Upton Park was followed by a home debut against Manchester United in the Worthington Cup, followed by the Premiership clash with Liverpool. Football matches don't come much bigger than that.
Sinton. Ginola draws header, cuts inside. Sinton's cross goes to ground. Staunton loses out, and Anderson flies in from distance and forces a real stinger. And again, disastrous defending from Liverpool. Anderson powered it in. James did well just to rebound the ball out for a corner. Couldn't take any risks. Anderson's corner. Fowler gets a header. Fox plays it in. Oh, and he scores! A debacle in defence for Liverpool again. Full marks to Fox. Carr. Armstrong turns bad with ease. Puts in a good cross. Oh, and a desperate own goal. A self-inflicted goal again by Liverpool. One's heart goes out to Jamie Carragher. Well, Carragher will get the discredit, but maybe it should be shared by Phil Babb, who was turned easily by Armstrong, provided the cross, and with Ferdinand bearing down, it was an unfortunate foot stuck out by Carragher, which went past his goalkeeper James. It's 2-0 to Tottenham. The obvious candidate for the free kick would be Patrick Berger to lash it in with his left foot. Liverpool have a lifeline in this game. They need to take action and take it pretty quickly. Patrick Berger. Oh, great goal by Berger. Singularly spectacular.
3 points in the bag against Liverpool, and the following week we again played hosts, this time to second place Manchester United. If ever there was a game of 2 halves, then this was it. What George Graham said or did at half-time is unknown, but whatever it was, it worked.
Sinton takes. Campbell. Ferdinand going in with Schmeichel and beating him to it. Schmeichel in trouble. Well, he's got away with it. And Manchester United trying to play it away with some pace and penetration here with Giggs. Beckham, Solskjaer going far post, Giggs going on into the centre. Ryan Giggs, great stop, Solskjaer scores. Well, within seconds of Peter Schmeichel having problems at one end, so in character for Manchester United, they swept the length of White Hart Lane. Anderton, here's Carr. He's got the cross in. Ronnie Josson had to be vigilant then. Might have expected Stephen Carr not to reach that. Josson reached the cross. Keane. Forward goes Butt. Cross comes Campbell. Drops for Sheringham, who saw Beckham straight away and found him. It's 2-0. And Solskjaer is the man on the spot again. It is Anderton. Well, that was a close call. No real attempt to disguise the intentions. And to get it over the wall and down. And it just skimmed the top of the crossbar. In trouble with the referee today. And if Roy Keane spared, they're lucky. But it's not 7. Here comes Anderton. Campbell! Well, that was a splendid header from Sol Campbell. And now we can concentrate on the football again. After the flashes of temper, George Graham's side have scored. Darren Anderton, man to beat in the air, but Campbell did beat him to it. And it's Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 2. 20 minutes to go. They gave Manchester United a 2-goal start in 18 minutes. Taken by Anderton. Yes! Amazing! Sol Campbell. George Graham takes it with no apparent change of expression, but look at the joy around White Hart Lane. When Manchester United heads drop on their chests, chins on chests. No one got ahead on this for them. Campbell met it. It flashed past Schmeichel for the second time in the second half. And Tottenham in stoppage time have a captain fantastic here.
What the new manager has brought in is certainly a good feeling on the pitch, which has been transported to the supporters. The supporters have been absolutely fabulous at home, and I think a belief that this is going to become a hard place to get a result. And I think if you look at all the better sides, they always have good home records, and we'd like to think that we're working some way towards that.
Well, I had a few choice words to say at half time, and we would want to play. We were thinking of playing football. But I thought Manchester United in the first half, they were thinking, like, let's win the battle and then we'll play football. And we've got to pick this sort of philosophy up a lot quicker than we did today.
George Graham is a manager who loves to get among his players at the training ground and put across his ideals. He can't do that during matches, so what is his match day routine?
I particularly always sit in the stand in the first half, first 45 minutes. The grounds now in England, in my opinion, are the best in the world. There's usually a good, very good vantage point that I can sit and watch the game, and I'm above the play. So I can see up there, and I always take notes, and I can see up there what's going well, what's not going well, how the opposition are, how they're playing, and how they're probably getting at us too easily. So that I can make notes in the first 45 minutes, Jerry, and that's why that I can put it right at half time. The second half, I usually always on the dugout, because by then it's no use sitting in the stand then. You've got to be next to the players, next to the action, so you can pass on your messages. But I think the 10-15 minutes at half time, for me anyway, you can really resurrect a game that you looked like losing. All my teams at half time, they know they've got to come in. They know they've got to listen to me. I don't have it unorganised. It's very organised at half time, because that's where you can, a match can be won. So it's very important that you get everybody seated down, and get them to take on board what you've got to say and put right, hopefully at half time. And the notes that I take, I would say by the time I get down to the dressing room, prior to the half time whistle, I'll probably knock all the ones out, because I think players at half time, they can only take on board and retain certain messages. So I would probably knock out, you know, about half to 3/4 of the notes that I write down. I'd probably sort of go over them with them on a Monday or a Tuesday. But at half-time, I think players can only take on board and, as I say, retain certain messages that are given to them. And I think that's important. Certain managers and coaches, they go on, they talk and talk and talk, and what happens is the players then lose the point you're trying to put across.
So that's how George Graham does it. Chelsea under Gianluca Vialli were expected to challenge for honours this season. We kept them at bay for 80 minutes.
It's going to come to Vialli. Poyet, snapshot, and Chelsea have the lead. 8 minutes from time. Gustavo Poyet, the scorer. And the bird forward for Chelsea. And this is Petrescu trying to keep it in. And he has as well. Spurs trying to get back. Petrescu's cross. 2-0.
No Christmas cheer at Stamford Bridge. On Boxing Day, we travelled to Highfield Road, looking for some reward for our working Christmas. After just 17 minutes, Darren Anderson's corner found Sol Campbell in amongst the Coventry defence, and he got the final vital touch to put us ahead. That was the captain's 7th goal of the season and his 3rd in 3 games. John Aloisi, coming on as a sub, cleverly found a yard and slotted the ball coolly past Ian Walker, who looked unbeatable with a great performance on the day. A point was our reward at Coventry. The blue side of Merseyside had a desperate season, only getting out of relegation fears with a match to play. But Chris Armstrong was in no mood to offer them sympathy.
Schindler to Anderton. Bit of space now for Darren. Just ran it too far ahead of himself. And Fox has done really well to keep that in. They'd given it up, Everton. It's Ginola's ball in towards Armstrong, and it hit Unsworth on the back. Ferdinand, it's in! Well, there's Ferdinand, picks up the pieces, and halfway through the half, Tottenham have the lead, and it's no more than they've deserved. Cleland. Runs from Barnby, and a clearance from Campbell, and that's in dangerously to Bakayoko. He's equalised. A goal out of absolutely nothing from the Ivory Coast international, and Spurs temporarily went to sleep. There's the somersault celebration from the 21-year-old. Fox trying to get involved. Anderton slides in, did well. Oh, that's a delightful ball. Armstrong, can he control it? He can! He kept his cool superbly, and Chris Armstrong has restored Spurs' lead. It was an expertly made goal, a wondrous little chip pass. Straight up in the air by Young. Clements was beaten and Young atones for his earlier error, and he might do more than that. He set up a chance here. Ferdinand, and now Armstrong. It's all over now, surely. Chris Armstrong makes it 3-1. A devastating finish. 2 goals for him, 3 for Tottenham. Everton now surely unbeaten. There's Carr in the way. Touch from Clements to Anderton. And here's Armstrong. He's on for a hat-trick here. He's got it! What a finish! Chris Armstrong. They don't come much better than that. Well, it must be the last game of 1998. Won't see too many better strikes than that all year. What a finish. And it's all Tottenham. It's 4-1.
At the turn of the year, the Spurs Members Club vote for their Player of the Year. This year, they preempted others by making, of course, David Ginola their choice.
And the winner and PFA Players' Player of the Year for 1999 is David Ginola.
By the end of the season, others realised what Spurs supporters already knew, as David collected 2 more awards. He was voted Players' Player of the Year and also selected by the Football Writers as their Man of the Season.
Well, David, congratulations once again. This has been some season for you, and to win both awards is pretty special, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is very special. I mean, it's unbelievable when you realise so many great players who won the double like this, and I'm just very pleased. I want just to say thank you very much to everyone, because I didn't expect it that one.
but at the end of the day, it's fantastic.
When you won the players one, you said that was obviously very special because it's come from the players themselves.
Yeah.
Did you then expect to win the journalist one as well?
Not really. I thought it was someone maybe from Manchester because they had a great season, but they vote for me and just great.
Obviously, I mean, it's been a great season for you at the club. I mean, has this been, from a personal point of view, your best season either in England or in football generally?
I was voted Player of the Year by the journalists and the players in France as well. So in 93-94 was a good season too. But this season is very special because obviously to play abroad, to play in another country, to settle well. I mean, it's just a fantastic season for me. We won obviously a trophy, so it's very good as well. I mean, you can't always win individual trophies. I mean, I'm a football player, so it's very important for me as well to be involved in major trophy with my club, and I'm just pleased with all we've achieved this season.
Well done, David. Thanks for a fabulous season, and we now look forward to another 3 years of the same. The new year heralds a new challenge, the FA Cup third round. We were thankful of a home draw against Division 1 promotion candidates Watford. They scored twice, we got 5.
Raul Fox goes across, it's played short. Back to Anderton. That's useful, Everson in! So simple, and Stefan Everson within 10 minutes of going behind. Spurs are level. His first full game back since he broke his jaw, and he celebrates with a really crucial goal with Spurs rocking in the FA Cup. He's got it back level. And it's going to be Anderton against Chamberlain. Not sure Chamberlain has seen too many Anderton penalties. Which way will he go, and will he guess right? He did, but he couldn't get near it. And it's 2-1 Spurs. A gift of a goal, really. The needless handball, and Darren Anderson exacts full punishment. Spurs have the lead 2-1. Short corner combination again. Anderton gets the cross in. Ferdinand Everson from virtually on the goal line. He's got 2. Spurs have got 3. We've had 4 inside 20 minutes, and Tottenham beginning to take a stranglehold on the game now. Yet again, the first division side undone by a set piece. Fox. Nice turn, just lost his balance. Nielsen! It's in! And Nielsen! Ferdinand. Ginola. It's towards Everson. Done really well, it must be this time for Fox, surely! He wasn't going to miss that.
The fourth round draw paired us with Wimbledon at Selhurst Park. Our next Premiership fixture took us to Yorkshire for an uninspiring fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. The match finished goalless, and the day's only interesting point was the introduction of George Graham's £750,000 midfield signing from Borussia Dortmund, Stefan Freund, who was introduced to English football. The goalless draw in Yorkshire was followed by another at White Hart Lane as the Crazy Gang travelled north across London. This league clash was of course the first of 5 confrontations in 3 competitions within 30 days. Chris Armstrong came closest to breaking the deadlock from Ginola's cross. His header came back off the woodwork. 7 days later it was Wimbledon again. In the FA Cup, Robbie Earle put the Dons ahead, but David fashioned an equaliser.
Ginola waiting for some movement on the right-hand side from Carr. Ginola. Oh, what a goal! When they needed him, David Ginola has delivered.
10 days later, the Dons travelled for the replay, happy in the knowledge that Ginola was out with a hamstring injury. Their joy was short-lived.
In towards Lieburn. So Stephen Carr doing the defending.
off by Ferdinand. The move kept going by Nielsen, who's herring on into the centre. It's Sinton on the ball for Spurs. Working it onto his right foot for the shot, and it's a great shot. Andy Sinton in for Ginola, and scoring, well, like Ginola. It's a lovely measured pass by Carr. Iverson didn't pick up the runner who was supporting him infield straight away. It was Anderton, but Tottenham get the throw and try to get Ferdinand on their way, on his way. And the problem for Perry, and it's going to be a goal here for Nielsen. And Wimbledon are very unhappy about it, but Dermot Gallagher has given it. Anderton. Flew off Nielsen, what an amazing goal! Well, you know it's Tottenham's night now.
Wimbledon comprehensively dumped out of the FA Cup at the second attempt. Our reward, Leeds United away in the 5th round.
Les, in the end, was that fairly comfortable?
No, it's never comfortable, you know, 3-0, you know, we had to battle for it. We knew it was going to be a battle, but we played some nice football at times and got 3 goals, which is a bit of a change.
Great reception for you when you came off. Are you close to being back to your best?
Yeah, you know, I'm feeling now that all I need to do is put a goal on the end of them performances, and then I'll be more than happy.
So it doesn't get easier, does it? Leeds away.
No, Leeds, it's going to be a hard game up there. So, you know, we're going to prepare for it in the best way. And, you know, we're next round in the Cup.
OK, guys, well done tonight. Les is man of the match. Sol, if you can give that to him. The AXA man of the match, well played.
Between those 2 FA Cup matches, we played out a 1-1 draw up at Ewood Park in the Premiership.
That's good play from Janssen. Just ran out of options at the end, really. Weight of numbers has got the ball back for Tottenham temporarily. No flag. First time shot, and it's in from absolutely nothing. And Matt Janssen has scored on his debut. Freund. Campbell. Well, he thought he'd won the corner. The official thought otherwise. So just a throw. Held in long though. Nielsen will reach it again. Keeper's got to come for this, and he was all over the place. No foul given, and it's eventually turned in by Iverson, and the goal will stand. And Tottenham deservedly are level at Ewood Park. Stefan Iverson the scorer.
Coventry were our visitors next, and this was yet another match that we really should have taken 3 points from. It did see the introduction, however, of Tim Sherwood, who arrived from Blackburn for £4 million. With just 6 minutes left, he had little chance to make an impact, and the match finished goalless. Our next Premiership match had a similar result, and again 2 points that we deserved got away. The best chance came in the first half. Anderton's free kick, Vega's header, Schwartz's right-hand post. Either side of that Middlesbrough match came 2 titanic tussles in the FA Cup, with George Graham's old side Leeds United. In the drawn match at Ellen Road, Ian Hart was their hero, while £4 million Tim Sherwood did it for Spurs on his full debut.
Iverson. That's into Sherwood, and it's in! And Tottenham have scored, and Tim Sherwood on his debut has given Tottenham a fantastic chance of reaching the last eight of the FA Cup. It left Nigel Martin absolutely flat-footed, out of nothing really. Excellent approach play by Anderton. George Graham looks unmoved, but I bet inside he's absolutely delighted. The man he bought for £3 million from Blackburn has scored on his full debut, whipped in by Anderton. And that was perfect placement. That's not a bad try, and it's in, and Leeds are level, and a goal out of absolutely nothing. Ian Hart the scorer, and Spurs shell-shocked here.
Tottenham were out of shot by the time the replay came around, and it was Leeds who needed the treatment as they were beaten by goals by Messrs Anderton and Ginola.
Ginola strong to get beyond cure. It's a mazy run. Oh my goodness, off the inside of the post. Back with Ginola again. Campbell trying to connect with the ball.
Oh well, you'd have been looking to beat that with some goal, I tell you. What a magnificent, magnificent effort from that mercurial Frenchman. You just thought he's going up a cul-de-sac, he's got nowhere to go. My goodness, he's been pushed away and across the face, and you think, go on then, you ain't going anywhere, son. And how he gets the power in that, well, it beats the goalkeeper, and well, no luck for Ginola. I wondered whether Nigel Martin had got the faintest of touches on it as it came across. He might well have done. He might well have done, and that might have just kept it out. This thinks it's in, look.
It does. Oh, what an amazing sequence from Ginola, and in the manager's reaction as well. No goal, George. Armstrong, being strong, with Woodgate at his back. And Hannah turned away, but the decision is given. Ginola trying to ground. Anderton! Fantastic goal from Darren Anderton! It is in this time, George Graham.
Well, if Ginola's strike was magnificent, this one was better than that. What quick thinking from Ginola. Spots Anderton and just steadies it and lets go. What a strike. He's not going to hit a better strike than this ever. Darren Anderton. Absolutely magnificent. It needed to be special to beat Nigel Martin. My goodness, it was special.
Well, his only 2 goals for Tottenham this season have been penalties. But just look at that. Sensational for Spurs. Woodgate's got 2 players bearing down on him. And he's commendably cool, although the clearance wasn't too good in the end, and it says Ginola! Oh no, the frame of the goal again!
Wow, the quality of free strikes we've seen in this second half, well, you just have to admire. Nigel Martin might have got something on the first one. Don't know whether he got anything on that, but this was past them before they could even reach. We talk about near post, they can see it coming all the way. Well, if there was a slight touch again, it was only slight. But again, Ginola robbed.
Hogarth's got a problem here. With the bounce of the ball and the position of Harry Kewell, out comes Walker. It just begs the question again, Andy, how come Ginola's only scored 2 goals this season?
I don't know, is the answer. Because he should be with his ability, Mark. Certainly chipping in with double figures every year he plays. Certainly when you think he's been involved in 30 games, this is 31st of the season.
It's a mistake by Radovich. He scored here. David Ginola, a classic. 2-0 Tottenham, and 2 of the best FA Cup goals you could ever wish to see.
What a magnificent volley. Technique, brilliant. Accuracy, stunning.
Only replays from several angles and at various speeds can do justice to the skills and goals of Anderton and Ginola in this match. Audiences at home and via the big screens at White Hart Lane will remember what technology added to those live moments. Our next 4 matches were Premiership encounters which rendered us 7 points and a place in the top half of the table. We start with our 1-1 home draw with Derby. St. Dorigo.
33 years of age now. Take the free kick for Derby. In towards Wanshop, who won it well, and here's Burton, and Derby, within a minute and a half of the second half, have gone ahead. Wanshop won the header, Burton was sniffing around, and he just got enough on it to beat Ian Walker. This is Ginola. First proper touch for Dominguez. And it's a good one too. It's skipped away from Bahinen. And what a great ball to Sherwood! And Spurs are level! And talk about an inspired substitution. You've just seen one. Jose Dominguez with some marvellous skill. And a ball that just invited Sherwood to score. 5 in the wall, it goes short to Armstrong, Chris Armstrong, marvellously done, really cute free kick from Tottenham, 18 minutes gone, and they lead by a goal to nil. They were all expecting the shot, Southampton, and they played it short, and Armstrong finished in devastating fashion. Ginola made the run, and Everson was right in there. And it was hardly convincing defending once again from Southampton. Didn't seem to be much calling there. There's Lundqvist who finally put the ball out for the corner. Halfway through the second period, 1-0 Spurs lead, and they have a corner. Ginola crosses himself this time. Everson got the header in, and Everson scores the goal! It just looped over Jones. He did a similar thing, I think, at Liverpool. A perfect looping header on the far post, and Tottenham at 2-0 have got the cushion they wanted. It's kept on by Carr, but given straight to Colatea, and Vega with his first touch will tell Southampton again, as they've been retailed for the whole game. Nice play by Armstrong. Now, can Spurs finish in a flourish in injury time? It's Dominguez! It's 3! He was in yards of space at the far post. There's the traditional celebration.
Charles, oh, what a save by Walker, but it's turned in anyway, and Alan Smith has given Leeds United the lead. Radaby. Batty. Smith for Haaland. Haaland digs it in. It's 2-0. Harry Kewell has scored for Leeds. Minutes to go. Everson. Nielsen. Everson. Oh, good save, but it's on the post! And Sherwood somehow, it is there now!
Tim Sherwood goal against Villa kept us in the top half of the table. Now for cup action and our 6th round tie with Barnsley, who had knocked us out a year earlier in a controversial 4th round replay.
Anderton. Ferdinand to Rico. Ginola, nicely done. Still David Ginola. It's a fantastic run. It's a brilliant goal from Ginola. C'est magnifique from the Frenchman. And he side Barnsley apart. And that surely now against 10 men is the goal that's going to take Tottenham into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. It's been coming all season, to be honest. He scored with a few spectacular shots. But that was the absolute archetypal Ginola dribble. Beaten one there. That's 2, 3, 4, and in. He's had his critics, but you have to say that that is truly superb. Like a knife through butter. And it looks like Newcastle next for Ginola and Tottenham.
David keeping us on course for another Wembley appearance where we won the Worthington Cup in our very next match. You can relive that Wembley success through another release in the Hotspur's video range. The road to Wembley is 90 minutes of action-packed entertainment as we progress to success in the Worthington Cup and earned our passport to Europe. Travel with us as we overcame Brentford by 6-4 over 2 legs. Our visit to the Sixfield Stadium Northampton saw us score another 3 goals. And remember how Alan Nielsen sealed Liverpool's fate at Anfield.
Everson finds Nielsen in an onside position. Can he finish? There is no doubt about it.
Relive our White Hart Lane victory over Manchester United.
Oh, what a goal by David Ginola!
And Stefan Everson's exquisite finish at Selhurst Park in the semi-final.
Oh, it's a good try. Oh, it's in. Stefan Everson. A goal out of absolutely nothing.
And of course, the action culminates in victory between the famous Twin Towers.
Needs to get in ahead of Walsh and keep going.
Spurs Road to Wembley tells the whole story in 90 action-packed minutes at just £12.99. Our very next match after Wembley was against Leicester. Who else? The visitors to the Lane extracted some revenge by taking 3 Premiership points.
Happy to take the free kick for Leicester. Little flick on, it's in. Leicester City take the lead. Says the referee, and this is a good run from Leicester City. They've got a chance here and they score 2. Now we've got a game on because Tony Cottee has given them a 2-goal advantage with their only chance in the second half. A breakaway goal and Leicester lead by 2 goals to 0.
On now to St James's Park for a rehearsal of the FA Cup semi-final to be played 6 days later. Manager George Graham made 6 changes from the side beaten by Leicester. That included leaving out ex-Magpies David Ginola and Les Ferdinand.
Anderton has Carr thundering up on the overlap and invites him to make the cross, and he's done brilliantly and goes down, and the referee has pointed to the penalty spot, and Warren Barton, the half-time substitute, has conceded a penalty within 4 minutes of coming on. Darren Anderton with the opportunity to give Tottenham the lead. Takes it. Well, it may have come about in very controversial circumstances, but there is no denying that Tottenham deserve to be in front. Speed finding Gomi. Ketsbaia. Oh, what a great goal! Ketsbaia with an absolute blinding shot. No one could have kept that out.
Many felt this was our cup year. The FA Cup semi-final played at neutral Old Trafford didn't somehow seem that neutral. With an hour of the match gone, we were awarded a free kick for a foul on Chris Armstrong. Andy Sinton puts over the perfect cross. Sol is up and above the heads of the Newcastle defence, but not above the hand of Dabizas. Sol appeals immediately for a penalty, and Dabizas confirms that he's a pain in the neck. Blatant handball that would inevitably have changed the course of the match. Extra time is needed as 90 minutes finishes goalless, and to add to the first injustice, a similar incident at the other end is punished. Sol is inconsolable and can't watch as Alan Shearer thumps the spot kick past Ian Walker. Goal in front with just minutes of extra time remaining. Alan Shearer nets a second and our dream of a return to Wembley is shattered. Tottenham players and fans can only ponder what might have been had Dabizas been found guilty. Spurs director of football David Pleat had a mixed 98-99 season, but David has his finger on the pulse of all things football at the Lane.
It's been quietly traumatic. But it's been quite enjoyable too. Had good days and had not so good days. But it's been difficult for the players because, as we say, we started with Christian Gross, who probably knew his football, but it was difficult for him, the English scene, and he didn't appear to have the respect of certain senior players, and we had problems with the press, and the whole atmosphere generally couldn't be, I think, recreated under his management. We decided to make a change. I looked after the team for 8 games and delighted to say that we only suffered the ignominy of defeat once. So that was good. And George came and took it on. We got a good shape defensively without the ball. Ginola was turning in good performances. And we became a solid side, difficult to beat. Two excellent cup runs, and I think we've made progress. But my look really at the club as the overview has to be really more with the younger element of the club, which I've been quite pleased with. Luke Young has definitely made progress. He's played 14 or 15 senior starts, important games, held his own, will get better, still very young. Ledley King right at the end of the season, a player we're going to hear more about, has just come into the group, both that we got on contracts during the season. And Mark Gower, who I had a little fancy for and had him in the squad whilst I had the team. I put him in place at Motherwell, where he's done quite well at Scottish senior level. So he's a young player maybe to look out for, who's going to come and challenge. But of course we've got to augment that with senior players, and if we finish in the top 12 this season, which I hope we certainly will, then we've got to aim for the top 6, I would suggest, next season. But there is still a gap in the very best clubs who've accumulated players at a lot of cost. And I mean the Arsenals and the Chelseas and the Manchester Uniteds, and quite frankly, and indeed Liverpool and Newcastle. And it wouldn't take too much of an expert to predict prior to the start of this season that Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United would be 3 of the top 4.
George has brought 1 or 2 players into the club already. There'll be, hopefully, if all goes well, a new signing with this Israeli left back. What can you tell us about him?
Well, yeah, George has brought in Steve Sherwood and Stefan Freund, who have become a strong midfield twosome. £4 million Steve Sherwood, so we were buying a quality player. Stefan Freund was a clever buy, does a particular role for the club that we hadn't got anyone previously in place to do. Not that Christian Gross didn't recognise that, but his target last summer in that particular position never came to fruition. So we started this season without a player capable of playing in a holding role. The Israeli boy is very simple. He played as a young player for Nazareth. He's an Arab boy. He's one of 2 Arab boys that play for the Israel national teams. He first 11. He's played the last 14 or so internationals. He's been a regular in the team. He is quick. He's left-footed. His position is left back. That's where he plays. I think that's where he wants to play. And of course we have not the problem, but we had to take some precaution because this summer we may lose Tramezzani, who has had a very unsuccessful time here really since being signed last summer, rather surprisingly in view of our scouting reports. But he was signed. And Justin Edinburgh has a year to go of his contract. Clive Wilson, who we wish all the luck in the world, has been an excellent servant to this club, will be getting a free transfer. And Andy Sinton will be leaving too. Andy Sinton has played some valuable contributions at left back. So if you look at the whole scene, we signed Mauricio Taricco, who's feeling his way into the Premiership and is a good technical player. but we decided that another full-back would not go amiss. We think Luke Young may be able to play full-back too, and I have to say, as an outsider looking in, I think Stephen Carr's improved superbly well as the season's gone on, and you know, good luck to him. He's got an Irish cap. He's almost an ever-present. I think he's missed one game, and he deserves it. He's been an unsung hero in the side.
So all that's left is to see out the Premiership season with the same commitment as we had at the start. We still had a big say in the relegation and Championship issues, with 7 games remaining. Our first is at the City Ground, although Forest look doomed.
Armstrong just found a yard there, but not the right cross. And it's in! Everson has beaten Crossley on his near post. Came out of nothing, really. Forest couldn't clear it. And Stefan Everson gets the goal for Spurs. But their overall play is certainly warranted. The away support can celebrate. It's 1-0 Tottenham.
Plays the ball forward. Charlton pressing in the early stages. That's a good ball as well. Here's Mortimer. Not too long, although it was cut back, and it's a chance for Kinsella on the edge of the area, and Mark Kinsella, the Charlton skipper, has put the home side ahead and given them a vital goal. Campbell. Steve Carr with some room to move into on that right-hand side. Here's Everson. Last one. He's done well here. And a nice little 1-2. Chance here for Everson, and that's the equaliser for Tottenham. Beautifully constructed corner to Tottenham, which Anderton will take. And Campbell coming in on it, and this time Pedersen has no chance. He's left rooted to the spot, and Sol Campbell, who so often has come up with crucial goals this season, has done it again. A diving header right in the corner, and Tottenham take the lead. Tottenham now have got it away. It's Alan Nielsen now leading the charge forward, and there's a possible break on here. It's with Ginola, who's got support with Dominguez with him. Ginola has played the right ball at the right time, and Dominguez has finished it off. Once again, he's come on as a substitute and made an impact. Jose Dominguez makes it 3-1 to the Spurs. And Ginola. Ginola's got a little bit of room here, and he strikes it well, and that is it now. It's Tottenham's best away victory of the season. David Ginola gets number 4, and Charlton are well and truly beaten. On the day that West Ham were our visitors, a short ceremony just outside the club's main gates paid tribute to Bill Nicholson, the club's president. Well, Bill has been associated with Spurs for more than 60 years. He joined the club in February 1936 and made his debut 2 years later at Blackburn Rovers. In all, he made 356 appearances for the Spurs, scoring 6 goals. It was a manager, though, that he really came to the fore. Taking over in 1958, he led Spurs to the League and Cup double in 1961, the FA Cup the following year, the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1963, the FA Cup again in 67, the League Cup in 71 and 73, and the UEFA Cup in 1972. And it was a proud Bill Nicholson that walked down the newly named Bill Nicholson way. Martin Peters, a former player and now, of course, a club director, and an old commentator, Kenneth Wolstenholme, also part of the crowd. And Bill Nicholson, a very happy man.
It's very, very good of you to turn out like this. We have, I don't know what really I'm supposed to be saying here, but all I know is that you people have come out here and you expect me to say something. What do you want me to say?
Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
All I can say is it is a great honour, really, for me to be invited here to talk to you people and to receive this freedom of the borough from the mayor. It's very nice. Thanks very much for coming. Very good of you. So, really, what can I say apart from that? Don't really say anything else apart from thank you very much.
So the new road leading up to White Hart Lane now officially called Bill Nicholson Way. And with the formalities over, it was Bill Nicholson introduced to the Spurs fans. Of course, fans who have known him for many, many years, along with some legends, some playing legends from the past, including the great Dave Mackay. And a rapturous round of applause from the Tottenham faithful. And a final wave from the great man.
Carl's touch was rather loose. Berkovic did well trying to put Sinclair through, and Walker had to read it, and he did. Next to Ian Wright, first time shot, and Ian Wright, would you believe, has put West Ham ahead. It was on the cards. George Graham bought him for Arsenal, and Ian Wright within 4 minutes, his second goal in successive games. He only started 18 games. Lampard, Berkovic. Excellent run through from Keller. He can settle it here, and he has. It was so simple. Spurs looked for a flag, it never came. And Mark Keller, the Frenchman, has doubled West Ham's lead on 65 minutes. Spurs 0, West Ham 2. Ginola, not a bad try, and that's a fantastic goal by David Ginola out of absolutely nothing, and he brought his lot to his knees, and he's brought Spurs back into the game. What a fantastic strike. He just doesn't score tap-ins, this man. He hasn't had a great game by his standards, but this was world class. One little look up, and bang.
Anderton. That's a nice little flick on from Armstrong. This is Everton in a little bit of space here. Armstrong's in there, it's gone in! Off Jamie Carragher. Chris Armstrong did the worrying. Carragher eventually turned it past his own keeper. But Spurs have the lead. Darren Anderton will take the free kick. Steve McManaman. There's the cross, and it's 2-0! Stefan Everson. And Spurs now are really flying. Stefan Everson scores the second. And Walker came through. The referee has given a penalty. Ian Walker seemed to have made a perfectly legitimate save there, but is in problems. And Karl-Heinz Riedler went through. Jamie Redknapp against his England colleague Ian Walker. Scores, and Liverpool are back in the game. McManaman. Stephen Carr is determined as ever to preserve this lead. Redknapp, and it's 2-2. Paul Ince has scored the equaliser for Liverpool. Song, the substitute. McManaman! And it's 3-2 to Liverpool.
With 3 games left, we were sitting in the top half of the table. Our remaining fixtures were against the top 3 teams, and we had a big say where the championship would go. 3 points off our North London rivals would have been nice, but they were on song.
Here's Anderton. Adams overcooked that. Anderton might get in there again. And, well, Arsenal have defended so well. And Adams gets himself out of trouble in truly magnificent fashion. The Arsenal fans applaud, and quite rightly, it was cool defending when under a lot of pressure. Anelka. This is Bergkamp. Brilliant ball to Petit. What a goal for Arsenal. Emmanuel Petit scores a fabulous goal. Tottenham were caught out by a ball of pure genius and a finish that quite frankly was as good as it gets. Chelsea, of course, are the next opponent and the final home opponents here at the Lane. As Anelka goes through, Nicholas Anelka for Arsenal makes it 2-0, and Arsenal are in command. So Sherwood, Frund, driven in! Well, that was Darren Anderton at his best. The match is now wide open. A fabulous free kick, well worked, and Darren Anderton gets the goal that opens up the North London derby again. He struck it sweetly, and David Seaman will not be happy. Chelsea have beaten Leeds by a goal to 0. Oh, Kanu has scored the 3rd goal for Arsenal. What an introduction he's been.
Second half, I was proud of my boys. I thought 2-1, a little bit of, and then we did some tremendous crosses into the box. And I thought if we get a draw here, it'll be a fantastic result against a real quality team.
Is that one of the best Arsenal performances you've ever seen?
No, I've seen better ones than that.
How do you see the title race now? Because it could hardly be close, is it? Arsenal just ahead in terms of the 3 points, but United with a game in hand, Arsenal with just a better goal difference.
To be quite honest with you, I think I've got enough work here on at Tottenham and what I'd like to achieve here. I can't be bothered about the title race. I'm so targeted and so focused on the work that's got to be done here that the title race doesn't really bother me.
And George Graham is working hard for the good of his players and the team's success. Just before the season closed, he spoke about the last 8 months and about his aims for the future.
I'm delighted to be at Tottenham, first of all. I left Leeds in a good condition. Took over a big challenge coming to Tottenham. I think in the past I have said that Tottenham have underachieved in recent seasons for the size of the club, and really I didn't want to get into the relegation battle that they did last season. I think that objective was achieved, and to then go on and win the Worthington League Cup was beyond my expectations, and I was delighted really for the fans mostly, for the club and also for the players that they responded to me in such a fashion.
You've always said that was winning that cup and also getting to the semi-final of the FA Cup was very much a bonus. You hadn't expected that. When you arrived at White Hart Lane, what were your expectations really for this season?
Well, obviously I knew all the players because I know the London scene very well. So I knew the playing staff that the club had. I had to work with them then to assess their their potential and capabilities. I always like committed people, and the vast majority were committed. 1 or 2 weren't. So then I thought that if I could get them stabilised in the mid-table this season, maybe a good cup run in one of the cups, Then the following season, that'd be next season, hoping to get into the top 6 and maybe qualify for Europe. That would be a steady progression. Instead of that, we're within 6 months of me arriving, we actually did get a European place by winning the League Cup. So that was way ahead of schedule. But I don't want to fool the fans. I think there's a lot of work got to be done here. I think it's going to take some time. I think at the present time, I think most people agree with me that Manchester United, Arsenal, and maybe even Chelsea, I think talent and the size of the squad that they've got, they're way ahead of the chasing pack. And if they actually, each of those clubs went out and say spent £12 million in 2 players this year, I think it's going to take at least a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, to catch up with them again. That applies to the chasing pack behind them.
You have started the rebuilding, of course, by bringing in 1 or 2 players, and you must have been very pleased with the way that they've all settled in.
Yeah, I think Tim Sherwood has been outstanding, and he's even broken into the England team. I think Stefan Freud has given us a bit of toughness in the central midfield. I think he will prove to be a good buy next year as well. And Tarico, I think, is going to gradually improve. But there's still a lot more incomings, I think, and outgoings still got to happen at Tottenham. Unless you just throw a massive sum, which is not going to happen, and try to get a quick fix. And even if you had lots and lots of money to spend, it's not necessarily right that you would attract the right players for the right reasons. I think there is a lack of quality players around, especially quality players who are available in the transfer system. So, I don't want to be pessimistic with the fans, but I think it's going to take some time. Hopefully next season, as I say, we've got to try to get at the top of the chasing pack and get into that top 6. We've had 2 fantastic cup exploits this year, winning one and getting to the semi-final of another. I love to play in Europe, and it would be great if we did a really good European run as well.
From North London visitors to guests from West London as Chelsea come to the Lane. The match produced 2 stunning goals, but the 2-2 scoreline put paid to any chance of glory that Chelsea still had. During the season, players are fined for various misdemeanours on and off the pitch, be it for collecting red or yellow cards or for late arrival at the training ground. The money collected from these fines is pooled, and before the Chelsea match, Sol presented a cheque to help the children treated at Great Ormond Street Hospital. Well done, lads. The Chelsea match also provided the fans with a first glimpse of our new look home strip, supplied by Adidas and sporting the new sponsors logo. Yes, Holston are back next year.
Zola delivers the ball in dangerously, and it's a goal from Poyet. He's done it again. Armstrong. And the top. Difficult one there, LeBeuf had to take control, and
he made the right decision because he was waiting for the keeper to come. He was never going to get there. He was being pressurised by Anderton. He did the right thing. If in doubt, kick it out.
There's even a stylish player like LeBeuf adhering to that old maxim. Ginola stabs one in, a goal from Everson. Tottenham are level.
Well, they caught Chelsea cold with a short corner. Ginola just plays a little ball into Everson. He wastes no time, outside of his right foot. He knew that if Spurs were going to equalise, that Ginola was going to play some part in it.
Anderton. Ginola. Straight to LeBeuf. LeBeuf taking a couple of chances there, and Ginola nips in and could punish him, and has. One Frenchman makes the mistake, and another capitalises in typically magnificent style. And Tottenham from 1 down, lead 2-1.
What a wonderful finish from Ginola, but that's really poor defensive play from LeBoeuf. Great tracking down from Darren Anderton, forces a mistake. Ginola's onto it, goes past Desai, and calmly strokes the ball with the inside of his right foot into the corner of the net. Lovely finish. Hitchcock absolutely flat-footed, cannot move. The moment it leaves his foot, it's in the back of the net.
David Ginola's 7th goal of the season, his 3rd in the last 4 games, and the double footballer on the year. Blows a few. White, goal back. Oh my word, what a goal by Bjarni Goldback. Well, don't cast your vote for goal of the season yet, because that's a contender. What a fantastic shot.
So to the final day of the Premiership, and the Championship goes to the wire, and we're still involved.
United knew they needed to win in front of a packed house at Old Trafford to be sure of securing the last Premiership title of the millennium. But Spurs were the only team they hadn't beaten this season, and the visitors showed from the kick-off they hadn't come north for a day out. But when David Ginola limped off early on, the tide seemed to turn United's way. But it was Spurs who took the lead after 25 minutes when Les Ferdinand got on the end of a long ball, leaving Peter Schmeichel stranded. It was Ferdinand's first goal of the year and threatened to ruin the party for Schmeichel as he played out his final game of an 8-year career at Old Trafford. United stepped up the pace, and Paul Scholes had an excellent chance to level the scores, only to be denied by Walker not once but twice. But Alex Ferguson's men managed to go into the break on level terms when Scholes found David Beckham out wide, the midfielder making it 1-1 with a trademark strike. United picked up where they make it 3, but the win was all important. So the Championship trophy goes north.
Whilst in the south, our players parade around White Hart Lane to thank all their fans for the support they've given the team throughout the season. The Worthington Cup was raised in recognition of the support received throughout that campaign, and at Wembley, the Tottenham contingent and the stadium were champions themselves. With that piece of silverware in the locker this season, in such a short time under George Graham, what does the future hold? Watch this space.
Well, it would be great to win another trophy next year, there's no question about that. But there's one thing I am more than anything, I'm a realist, I'm not a dreamer. I will be working hard here, trying to lay a foundation, like I have done in my previous clubs, not only for the present but for the future, and that's what my aim here at Tottenham is, to put them back up there where they belong.